If it felt more like winter this past weekend than spring, you were right. It was the coldest weekend we'd seen since late January. So I thought we'd think warm thoughts and look ahead to the forecast for the summer, which was recently updated by the National Weather Service. Of course, a lot could change between now and then, but here's the forecast. Updated just a few days ago. Right now, the National Weather Service has most of the country, the contiguous United States and Alaska, forecast to be above average. There's no portion of the country that's forecast to be below average. There is a part of the northern plains that's forecast to have equal chances of being above or below average. More importantly, Chicago is leaning above average in the forecast overall, so they're indicating this could be a warmer than average summer for us. I looked at the European model as well. It agrees with this in terms of Chicago's forecast at least, and it has us outlook to be about a half a degree Celsius to about a degree Celsius above average overall. And again, most of the country is forecast to be above average. There's no portion of the country on this map that's forecast to be below average. So it looks like a warm summer for us. We certainly had a warm summer last year, and I have some stats on that on my blog. It was the 25th warmest summer overall for us on record, the summer of 2022. This year, I noted that the forecast is calling for an El Nino to develop. That's a warming of the eastern Pacific Ocean along the equator. That could begin its onset sometime this spring and last at least through the summer months. Whenever we used to see that, I'm talking about 40, 50 years ago, it used to correspond usually to a warmer than average year globally. But now it seems that climate change has really more than compensated for anything that's going on in the ocean. Even during the cooler periods we see in the eastern part of the Pacific Ocean during La Niñas, we still tend to have some rather unusually warm years. So that seems to be the driving force behind all this. One thing we can also take out of this forecast for the summer is that we probably will have more than our average number of 90-degree days, so days where we hit 90 degrees or more. Typically we see about 14 of those during the months of June, July, and August, and about 17 of them annually throughout the whole year. So expect probably more 90-degree days overall. And if you're interested in terms of how much moisture you're going to see this summer, not only is it going to be warm, it's probably going to be a wet summer according to the National Weather Service. Their outlook calls for us to be leaning above average overall in terms of precipitation. So some warm thoughts to get you through this past weekend and hopefully keep us optimistic about more warming coming for the spring. I'm Tim McGill.